the Center for Spiritual Living Carlsbad, and we understand that there is a power for good in the universe, greater than we are, and we get to use it. So isn't that wonderful? I'm going to need a volunteer for candle lighting. Larry said he would. Let's let Larry. Come on. We light candles. Let Larry come on up. We light a candle for life. Life is where everything present flowing through each and every one of us. There is only one life, and that life is God's life. That life is our life now. Please affirm with me, I am life. We light a candle for love. The birth of love happens within each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and recognize our unity. We are points of love within the heart of God. Please affirm with me, I am love. We light a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and the power. We are always walking in the light. We radiate the light of God. Wherever we are, please affirm with me, I am light. We light a candle for beauty. We are made in the likeness and the image of God. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful just as we are. We accept the beauty of God's perfection as our perfection now. I am beauty. We light the candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. We celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in the God consciousness. We each bring joy to the world. Please affirm with me, I am joy. We light the candle for peace. Today, especially, and every day, we open our hearts to peace. We are each a center of peace in our world. Please affirm with me, I am peace. Finally, I invite you to take a moment to recognize your own inner light that is always shining within as we each honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, mental healing through the practice of universal principles. Thank you. I have a few announcements to make. Today we have birthday day, so we'll be having a song for birthdays. We will be, if there's anyone who has a prayer request, you can fill out a paper in the lobby. There's a request box there, and you can put it in that, and our team will go over the prayer treatment work for you this week. And if you haven't had an answer to your prayer, keep asking. Reverend Maureen is hosting her spiritual alohas on the Zoom group every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Everyone is invited to join in. If you need the Zoom link, please let us know during the fellowship. This is truly a community-based spiritual center, and it takes a team to keep it going. So let's recognize some of the behind-the-scenes volunteers and helpers who may or may not show up on stage, but are still so important. We'd like to thank Pat Z for the beautiful flowers. Our greeter was Daryl. We've thrown him right into the mix. And Reverend Maddie brought the treats today. Thank you. Our reader today will be Tommy. Thank you, Tommy. Johnny, sorry. Not Johnny. Thank you. And of course, we want to thank Jim for the lobby setup, and he's doing the recording today. And Jan and Angel, who are always here to help with all of our volunteers. now, if you will turn to the group reading in your program. Let's all read together. God is both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is both perfect and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. And now, Andrea and Billy are going to bring us a group song. Oh, stand up, please.
So, you should find the lyrics in your program if you're new. Today's song is called I'm Choosing Heaven Today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. Peace. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road to peace right now. Singing, I'm choosing peace, love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road to love right now. Singing, I'm choosing love today. Heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. What? I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. Singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. Woo!
Now we will have John. Whoops. I'm a loud talker, so I figure everyone can hear me anyway. Let's invite Johnny up to do our reading for us.
Yay, Johnny!
This morning, the reading is taken from Living the Science of Mind, titled, You Are a Spiritual Broadcasting Station. Did you ever stop to think that you are a spiritual and mental broadcasting station, and that messages are going out from you in all directions, perhaps even while you are asleep? Messages which will have an influence on your environment and the people around you. And since everything moves in circles, the messages you broadcast will come back to you. We are told that the mental atmosphere of a home can influence a dog, a cat, or a canary to the extent that they become neurotic when surrounded by unhappiness or criticism. There is a place where our physical bodies begin and leave off, but the mind has no such limitations, and our thoughts penetrate everything around us. A person who confidently expects good things to happen, who expects everyone to like him, and who expects to find happiness in life wherever he goes, will not only be broadcasting these thoughts, which will make other people happy, he will be receiving them in return. Because he feels friendly, people will respond with friendliness. This is the pathway that we are all seeking, whether we know it, and where we are being guided by a loving intelligence, which evermore seeks to bring us peace and comfort, cheer and goodwill, happiness and success, health and abundance. First of all, we must be sure that we are right inside, and then learn to trust ourselves because we have faith in God. We must learn to get our own broadcasting station in order. We must retune our own receiving set. It may take time and effort, but the goal we seek is worth the journey, and the prize that is offered is worthy of our effort. We are all spiritual and mental broadcasting stations. There is a silent force always flowing from us in every direction. How necessary is it that we assume the role of the announcer and the broadcaster? How necessary that we write our own program and deliver it ourselves.
What a good reading. That was wonderful. We are our own broadcasting station. Now we will have special music from our special Andrea and Johnny. Billy. I'm giving everyone their names today. Sorry.
This song is called Mask, and for obvious reasons I didn't sing it during the pandemic. But it's not about that kind of mask. Take off your mask. I can see you anyway. Reveal your glory. And now the blessings today. And let the rain wash over your soul. If there's any pain, let it go. Who's gonna run you? The truth or the lies? Which way are you voting? I am voting to fly. And I let the rain wash over my soul. If there's any pain, I'm letting it go. Grateful, I feel grateful, grateful. Do you? 'Cause I'm taking off my mask. You can see me anyway. You can see my glory. You can see my shame. And I let the rain, you see it washes my soul. When there's any pain, I'm willing to let go. Hey. Hey. I surrender. I
wonderful. Andrea has Billy. Now I'd like to introduce our wonderful Reverend Ahmondra McClendon with her wonderful talk. Thank you.
Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Church lady.
It's so good to see all of you. Some faces I haven't seen in a while. So this morning, my talk is called, What's Your Spiritual IQ? Now, how many of you remember when you were young, you had those tests that gave IQ tests? Oh yeah, if you're old like me, you remember. You're young. So growing up, I remember being in elementary school. I was one of those children who was everywhere, every place, inquisitive. And they herded us all into the auditorium, sat us down, and gave us these tests to take. And of course, I wanted to get a good score, right? Like, okay, I'm going to get a good score on my test. So we took these tests, and I kept running around asking my teacher, what did I get? What did I get? What did I get? And she was ignoring me. I'm like, I took a test. What's my grade? What's my grade? And I never got a grade. I'm like, what is this about? What did they test us for? But I was smart, right? So I always kept my eyes and ears open. So one day, all of a sudden, we were grouped into these categories. We had a group number 1, a group number 2, and a group number 3. And I was like, what's this about? But I was in group number 1, so I was happy. And I noticed that group number 1 started being given different types of work than group number 2. And group number 3, they were just allowed to do anything they wanted to do. They didn't have any work. And I was like, okay, so what's this about? So I started understanding that this had to do with how I did my work in school. So I figured it out that, okay, I must be smart because I'm in group number 1. And so that test that they gave all of us was actually a test that was created in the 20s by 2 gentlemen in France. They actually created that because they wanted to help students who were having challenges academically. They wanted to find out a way to help individuals. So they had a great purpose when they created that. But as always, other people have other ideas. And in the United States, somebody who wasn't that enlightened decided that they were going to use that test to figure out in the military around World War II who could be an officer and who could be a grunt. So they gave this IQ test and they started separating people out according to the results of these tests. Like, oh, okay, your test results high, you could be an officer, you're low, you can't. But they went a little bit further than that. Somebody else decided to take that test and weighed it with some information they had. And they came up with this idea that, we know that certain people have lower IQs, and their IQ is lower based on what they look like, based on their race. So then they started separating people out according to something called eugenics at that time. Now it's called epigenetics, but then it was eugenics. And so they said, well, okay, those people who look like that, they have lower IQs. We don't want any more people who look like that. So what we're going to do, and this is fact, we are going to start sterilizing those women. And they started doing that in Virginia. Virginia was the first state. And the Supreme Court said it was okay. That's what was going on in the United States with that simple test that somebody created for good. It was taken and it was used for something that wasn't so good. But years later, because people were up in arms about that, they protesting about that, they started discovering that, okay, the test is biased, number 1. Because you're giving people a test based on answers that only would be suitable in a particular culture. Give you an example. So on the test, they might have a question where you compare things. And they have like a cup and a saucer and a cup and a table and a cup and a plate. So which ones go together? Well, I didn't grow up in a house where there was a cup and a saucer. I grew up in a house where there was a mug or a jar. And so I would not equate cup and saucer together. So my test result is going to come back mug. And they were going to label it as being wrong. And then they would label me and base my category on that answer. So they found out, okay, no, this test is biased. They also found out years later, as they kept giving this test, that as people's conditions improved, the test results got higher. They also discovered that the test was being given to people whose English was a second language. So, of course, you're giving tests to someone who isn't proficient in reading English, they're going to have different test results. So eventually, the IQ test was like, no, we're not using that anymore. But bits and pieces of it still exist in different places, just so you know that. So in the 1990s, all right, something else shows up. And it's called emotional intelligence. Let's look at that. When we talk about emotional intelligence, we're talking about an individual's behavior, their ability to navigate the circumstances of their life. That's totally different. Emotional intelligence can be tested because they're not testing you to how you perform against someone else. It's not a competition. It's to see how you navigate your world according to your emotions. So emotional intelligence started being used to assist people in their lives. Someone could be very successful in business, have a lot of money, but be emotionally sad, depressed. And we know that because we've heard of people who had mass amounts of money who committed suicide. And everybody would be like, why are they unhappy? They have all that money. It has nothing to do with their material goods. It has to do with how they were feeling inside, their emotional state. There might be somebody who is super clever, just clever, figure stuff out all the time, and their personal life is total chaos. Because emotionally, that cleverness that they have is not going over into their emotional life. It has nothing to do with that. You might have a CEO of a 500 corporation who's like just off the grid, just good, bring millions of dollars into the company, and has no tolerance for individuals, no empathy for individuals. It's just mean. And it has to do with their emotional state of being. So emotional intelligence has to do with how you grasp the reality in your life, the feeling levels. Now, also, emotions can be masked. You can appear to be very, very happy. How many of you know people that when they're sad, they smile? I lived that for 10 years. I masked severe grief. It was masked. Nobody knew it was there. 2 days after my 21st birthday, my best friend was murdered. No one knew who murdered her. She was the closest thing to me in my life. I went into a deep, deep grief, but no one knew it because it was masked. I could mask it really well. But behind the mask, drug addiction kicked off, alcoholism kicked off, because I had to do something about those feelings, those emotions. I had to do something, I had to find a way. But on the outside, they were masked. So emotional intelligence also shows up as when you mask your emotions. A mask, oh, wow. Somebody who is always angry. always angry, attacking other people all the time. And you're wondering, what is wrong with this person? Why are they so angry? They might be masking a cry for help. I need help, I need help. The only way they can express themselves is through anger, through striking out at you. Then you have those people who just blend in, you don't even know they're there. You know, I grew up in school with students who, the teachers never knew their name because they just kind of blended into the wall. They were masking sadness, sometimes they were masking abuse. They were suffering abuse in their household. And they didn't talk about it. And so they just disappeared. So emotionally, we can disappear also. So emotional intelligence is not something that you're born with. It is the result of education, particularly education on how you relate to others and yourself. How many of you have been out and seen out of control 2 years old, just tearing up the store, running all over the place, and you look at them and you're like, okay, that's 2, they're going to be that way at 20. Because emotional intelligence is something that you learn. And you learn it in your closest environment, and your closest environment is in the home. So if you see an out of control adult, you can trace it all the way back to when they were a young person. Or you can trace it back to some event that occurred in their life that had to do with emotions. Emotional intelligence provides us the ability to understand what we are feeling and then to discern if that feeling is masking an emotion. It gives you insight into you. It has nothing to do with what's out there. It has to do with over here. Unfortunately, in this country, we are divorced from our emotional intelligence. It's almost like it doesn't exist. We are wedded to our intellect. And we've done some amazing things with our intellect. But look at our state of mind in the country. We are emotionally immature as a country. This is something interesting that I found out when I was doing this research. That indigenous communities are powerfully wedded to their emotional intelligence. And they have less chaos than our country, who's wedded to the intellect. Very interesting. Our lack of emotional intelligence does not give us the capacity for empathy. With all the intelligence that we've had, we've created ways to live in certain environments where it's like super cold or super hot. But we don't have the empathy that we're sharing that space with other living beings. So we just come and build a house on top of their habitat. Because emotionally, we're not connected. When you're connected emotionally, you pay attention to the plants, to the birds, to the fishes. Because you understand that I am important, but there's other things out there important also. And when you're connected to yourself, you know that what you do is going to impact someone else. And you pay attention to that. You're always paying attention to how what you do impacts someone else. You don't live in this space of just me or mine and I don't care and I'm not connected to anybody else. We need to elevate our emotional intelligence and marry it to our intellectual intelligence. So how do we do that? Enter spiritual emotional intelligence. Powerful. About 10 years ago, there were 2 people who were working in emotional intelligence. They understood that something wasn't being recognized in our human evolution. This is what Ernest Holmes says about spirituality. Spirituality is one's recognition of the universe as a living presence of good truth, beauty, peace, power, and love. And it should be added also with happiness, joy, enthusiasm, and universal harmony. All of these make up the great rhythm of life, and it flows through everything. That's what Ernest Holmes says about spirituality. So if that's the case, spirituality is always there. It's there. It's just, you don't have to go get it. It's just there. But if you're not recognizing it, then you don't pay attention that it's there. That's what has been happening when we only look at the intellect or we only look at emotions. We have to bring in this other aspect of who we are, our beingness. So Jim and Lynette, and I'm blessed to know these two individuals, they worked with emotional intelligence for years, like I said. And they came up, they developed an assessment, and it's called Spiritual Emotional Intelligence Assessment. So in today's reading, we were talking about being a spiritual broadcasting system. Okay. So that means if you are already in this flow, everything that's flowing through you, around you, out from you, you're in that flow. If you don't pay attention, then you can just let anything flow out. That's what the reading was talking about. Being mindful. And the only way to be mindful is to be connected to your spiritual being. And use your emotions to give you signals and your intellect to help you figure it out. They go together. If you want to receive good, you have to release good. Spiritual intelligence allows us to bring our world into balance. Nothing in the universe works in a vacuum. It's all connected. So how is it that individuals, man thinks that he could just show up with intellect or just show up with emotions and not be connected to that essence of life? He's connected to the essence of life, just doesn't understand it or recognize it. And as a result, life doesn't look like harmony, peace, and goodness and blessing. It looks like something else. So when we send out clear signals, that means having relatedness to ourselves. You're related to yourself. You're related to the world and others. And you're related to the divinity, the divine, God, spirit, universal intelligence, whatever it is you choose to call it. But you have a relatedness with it. Spiritual emotional intelligence is about balance. It's about relatedness. That's what it's about. Now, when we stand in perfect balance, we are standing inside of our divinity. How many of you in here have had experiences where you know for a fact you've been off kilter and everything in your world is just like chaos? Yeah. How many of you know that when you begin to meditate and pull yourself in, that chaos goes away? Yeah. Because you start sending out different signals. You start sending out different signals. And what you send out begins to come back to you. Spiritual intelligence is wholeness. It brings us hope. Spirituality brings us wholeness. Not only within wholeness can we function as divine beings, but inside of that wholeness we can have others function that way. Because remember, what we're doing, we're sending it out. So if I'm whole, perfect, and complete, and I'm sending out that energy, and you step into my space, you are going to feel it. You cannot help but feel it. Now, you may not recognize it, but you will feel it. How many of you understand, like, some people just bring you peace when you're in their presence, and you want to be around them. And some people don't bring you peace, and you're like, no, I don't want to be there. That has to do with the emotional connection. It has to do with them being connected to their divine self. When we operate as divine beings, all aspects of us are working together. Our intellect, our emotions, and our divinity. Because there is no separation in the universe. There is no separation. You know yourself, you're related to others, you stand in your divinity, and you see the world through lenses of love. You look out in the world and you see, that out of control 2-year-old who might be in their 80s, and you're like, oh, okay. I'm just saying. The spiritual emotional intelligence profile. That is an assessment that I was trained to give last year. I was so excited when I was able to be trained to give this assessment. And a lot of it has to do with, I spent years as a social worker. My biggest frustration was trying to help a client get the resources they needed. I didn't know what they needed. The client didn't know what they needed. We just kind of like throwing spaghetti against the wall. Does this work? Does this work? It was so frustrating. But now we have a tool. Someone can take a spiritual emotional profile and it gives them a snapshot of where they are right now, how balanced they are. How balanced they are with themselves, how balanced they are with the world, how balanced they are with their divinity. They see it, it's right there. And then if they want to go deeper, we can take a developmental report and go deeper into that. And they begin to get tools on how to move and how to shift and how to bring balance into the world. And then it has nothing, it's not on me to try to figure out what you need. It's on me to just simply sit with you and show you where you are and then give you some tools on how you could better move. I know it works because I took it. And when I took it, it was so amazing. It showed me I had this powerful relationship with myself. I had this powerful relationship with God. And I had no relationship with anybody else. Well, that made sense. I've been in the house for 2.5 years. Okay? First with COVID and then writing my book. And I was like, this works. Because that's exactly where I was. If I take it today, it's going to show up differently. And that's what I love about it, because it's a snapshot of what's going on right now. So if you're in a deep grief right now and you take it, you will see, oh, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to do the work at. Do I want to be more related to the world? Oh, this is where I need to do the work at. It gives you a way to look at your life right now. So you can discover the potential to have a deeper connections in your personal and professional lives. You discover the depths of your relationships by gaining insight into your emotions and your spiritual alignment. You uncover hidden facts about your own being. It's very difficult if you don't do transformational work all the time to stand back and look at yourself. It's very difficult. I used to do transformational work with individuals, and I would sit this big giant mirror in front of us on the table. They couldn't look at me. They'd have to look at me through the mirror. It's called mirror work. Because when they look at me through the mirror, they have to see themselves. There's some people who can't look at themselves in the mirror because it brings up so much emotions for them. So much, you're not this, you're not that, and they can't look at themselves. But when you're able to look at yourself and see that what's going on with me is going to impact all those individuals around me, I need to tighten myself up. I need to be a better broadcaster so that I can receive what it is I want. If I want love, what do I have to do? Give love. So in closing, I want to say this. Maya Angelou has this famous quote, I love it. She says, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. So, do you think I like me? Do you think I like what I do? Do you think I like what I'm doing? Yes, you can see it. I can see it on others. Because there's this energy that shows up when you are standing inside of your purpose. When you're standing inside of your purpose, you're connected to your divinity. Because your purpose comes directly out of that connection to spirit. People run around saying, I'm looking for my purpose, I'm looking for my purpose. It's right here. It's not out there, it's here. When you connect to yourself, it just comes out. So spiritual emotional intelligence is wholeness. So when someone comes up to you and they say, what is your spiritual emotional intelligence? I doubt if anyone asks you that. But if they do, you say, it's wholeness. It's wholeness. I'm balanced. Because that is what it is. So I want to leave you with this. When your life is balanced, you like yourself. You're related to yourself. You like how you make others feel. You radiate light, love, peace, and harmony when you are balanced. You are completely successful because you bring your gifts to the world. And your gifts are packages filled with love energy. Balance creates relatedness. Relatedness creates wholeness. Say that again. Balance creates relatedness. Relatedness creates wholeness. And wholeness is your spiritual, emotional intelligence. So in 2024, let's get balanced so that we can help bring spiritual, emotional intelligence to the world and go out there and help all those old 2-year-olds that are running around wreaking havoc in our world. We can help them out. I am a blessing to each of you and a blessing to the words. And I want to say, if you want more information, I have a sign-up sheet in the back. Give me your name and your email. And as we are developing this, as we develop this, I will send you the information. Berla has already taken the assessment, so you can ask her what she thinks about it. But blessings, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rev. That was powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, give her some more love.
Yeah.
And congratulations on your new book. I'm like, that's where she's been. Okay. All right, this is called Music in Me. But sometimes I'm going to say Spirit in Me. It's the same thing. Ain't got no trouble in my life. No foolish dreams make me cry. I'm never frightened or worried. I know I'll always get by. Get up, cool down. I got words in my head, so I sing. Don't let life get me down. Gonna take it, rain and found there. I got the spirit in me. I got the spirit in me. I got the music in me. Sing it. I got the spirit in me. I got the spirit in me. I got the music in me. Hey. They say that life is a circle, but that ain't the way that I found it. Gonna move in a straight line, keeping my feet firmly on the ground. I heat up, cool down. I got words in my head, so I sing. I don't let life get me down. Gonna take it, rain and found there. I got the spirit in there. I got the spirit in there. I got music in me. Everybody, I got the spirit in there. I got the spirit in there. I got music in me. Hey. There she goes. I feel funky. I feel good. Gotta tell you, I'm in the neighborhood.
knowing that we can never outgive God, and that what we send out will return back to us. So right here, right now, we step into a place of consciousness of total, complete prosperity and abundance. And we allow our abundance to go out into the world and bless this center and bless others. Understanding and knowing this, I just simply say, so it is. And we have a song. As collection has been taken.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful to all that I am. I'm so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
As we prepare,
I'll interrupt.
yeah,
Can I interrupt just a second?
absolutely. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, this is birthday month.
Yeah.
I just want to say Elaine's birthday was 13. I also wanted to mention several people have asked me how she's doing, and she's just doing wonderful.
So we know, everyone may not know, our sister Elaine made her transition, what day?
Tuesday.
On Tuesday. But her presence is here. Like Larry said, she's doing just great. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I heard this in my ear saying, "That's good, I'm a drop." I just need to say this. Thank you, Larry, for standing up, because this has slipped my mind. When I first came to the center, we were back over on Oak Street, or whatever street we were on. And I walked in, and Elaine was there, and she said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Ahmondra." And she was like, "Ahmondra?" She didn't get it at first. She said, "I'm going to learn your name." She learned my name. That is so important. Names mean things to us. And she kept, every Sunday I'd be there until she got it. And I wanted to acknowledge that. So thank you, Larry. But she made me feel so well. By simply saying, "I'm going to learn your name." So we will keep you abreast of whatever Larry designs. So right now, let us take a deep cleansing breath together. And as we begin to move out of this space, we understand and know that the power and presence of the universe goes with us. We understand and know that we are standing inside of spiritual, emotional intelligence. That when we step out of this door, we are broadcasting consciously that which we want to receive. We understand that and we know that. We send out love into the universe today to all those places that may be living in darkness. And we send spiritual light. For those who weren't able to make it today because of dis-ease and discomforts within their bodies, we send them healing light and energy. And we know that this week is going to be a powerful week because we are going to look at how we are related to ourselves, how our intellect is supporting us, and how the loving arms of God are wrapped around us inside of our divinity. Everything is perfect and complete in our world. And this is what we will be living in this week. I bless this service. I bless each and every one of us here today. I thank you for your presence, spiritually and physically. And as I release these words, I release them knowing that they have already gone out from me into the world and they're making an impact. And I simply invite you to anchor them with me by saying, and so it is. Let us stand for our closing song.
The lyrics are on the back of your program if you're a newcomer. Open your heart, let your love go free, out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove. Say your heart remembers, you can't stop love. But once you get it started, watch what it does. It'll go full circle, can't stop love. Open your heart, let your love go free, out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove. Say your heart remembers, you can't stop love. Once you get it started, watch what it does. It'll go full circle, you can't stop love.
And please, do not leave without getting a piece of birthday cake. I think we're supposed to sing happy birthday, right? Yeah, that's right.
Say it's your birthday, happy day to you. Say it's your birthday, gonna have a good time. Say it's your birthday, gonna have a good time. And we're going to a party. I said we're going to a party. Yeah, we're going to a party. And we're going to a, hey, birthday, happy birthday to you. Birthday, happy birthday to you.